This sorry state of affairs reminds me of a couple from New York who bought a small white cereal bowl from a garage sale for $3. Unaware of its true value, they kept it on their fireplace mantle as a decoration for many years. Little did they know that this secondhand purchase was actually a 1,000-year-old Chinese dingware bowl produced during the Northern Song dynasty in the 11th century. It ended up being sold at an auction for more than $2.2 million. Talk about a great garage sale find. I wonder if we often approach sex in a similar way. We have it in our possession, yet because of our lack of knowledge and understanding, we underestimate the value it can add to our lives. We settle for the status quo and prop it on a back shelf rather than pursuing a sex life that could bring so much value and pleasure to our lives. I made it my aim to help the once-a-month Martins realize that a satisfying sex life was something that was within their reach. Not only that, but it was something valuable they already possessed. They worked on getting to the root of their underlying expectations and beliefs about sex. We explored possible hormonal or chemical imbalances. We investigated the spiritual and theological foundations of a good sex life and considered why it mattered to God just as much as it mattered to them. We talked about technique, mutual enjoyment, anatomy, and everything in between. With time, energy, effort, and communication, they were able to see sex as an opportunity rather than an obligation. They learned that a good sex life is something we make, not something we find. But most importantly, they learned that making love is a process of becoming a better person as much as it is about becoming a better lover. As the Martins' marriage improved, so did their sex life. And as their sex life improved, so did their marriage. The two sustain and build each other up, and that's what this book is all about. Sex is a process. Somewhere along the way, we may fall prey to the misconception that if we save ourselves for marriage, our sex life will be filled with hours and hours of amazing hot sex. We imagine all the stars aligning, our bodies naturally taking over and knowing exactly what to do. But often our expectations are shattered by reality, and we're left disillusioned by the unexpected struggles of sex. Gary and I hear from so many couples whose sex lives are filled with frustration, fears, and many tears. Not only do we bring false expectations about sex into marriage, but we're also carrying the baggage of unhealthy experiences regarding sex. Sexual experiences before marriage shape not only our expectation about sex, but also our future experiences. I counseled a couple who struggled with sex because of trust issues and insecurities that continued to come up as a result of their unresolved sexual pasts. It doesn't matter what side of the spectrum you find yourself on regarding your understanding and experiences of sex, because the truth is that none of us are immune to sexual struggles. But there is hope. A good sex life can be developed through committed work. It is within your reach. Just like anything significant in life, good sex takes time, education, energy, and practice. I hear from older couples who are investing in their relationship and thriving in their marriage that their sex life always follows suit, getting healthier, happier, and more exciting along the way. The honeymoon night was simply the start, the beginning of a lifelong journey of commitment, of intimacy, of getting to know each other, learning to please each other, and being vulnerable enough to give and receive from each other. When we align our expectations of sex with God's purpose for sex and realize that the phrase making love puts the emphasis on making as much as it does on love, we can reach new levels of enjoyment, marital enrichment, and even worship. A proper perspective matters every bit as much as proper strategies if sex is to be the best it can possibly be and fulfill its purpose for the entire marriage relationship. Married sex. Gary and I are thrilled that you've picked up this book because it means you are ready to say no to the status